We've had a fantastic session with Marcus Child this morning talking about personal power and hope. Property Academy's delighted to be amongst your clients of Coca Cola, Costa. You've got a great array of clients. Tell us a bit about personal power and hope. What do you feel is the most important thing about having personal power and hope?
Right. I said to the group today that personal power is really about looking after yourself first, so proper selfishness. Get yourself in the best mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, psychological shape so that you can give that gift to others. Okay,
and so how would we go about doing that?
Well, I think there's three things actually. There's something about having a really serious purpose, which is intense for you, which goes beyond the conscious brain. So having a real goal in mind, a destination which you share with others. Okay. Secondly, a belief that other people can do it and other people can surprise you. You know, I said that we live under our capacity. Most people can surprise themselves and can be surprised by their team. Mm-hmm. Live with the expectation of that. And the third thing is believe in the power of being positive to self and positive to others. So there's a big positive thing going on. There's something about believing in the team, and there's the importance of having a purpose. Those are the three big themes.
Okay, and when somebody has gone down the route of finding their purpose, they believe they know where they're going, the direction that they'd like to take their business or their personal development, whatever it might be, how is best to then get, I suppose, a team and everybody else engaged with their purpose?
The stuff I shared this morning, I think, is the material for people to share with their teams. When you teach something, you learn it twice. So there's something about passing material actively on to others. Models, diagrams, and all the good stories of success that you have. There's about passing that on, because not only does it enrich somebody else, but it reinforces that in the self. There's something also about having the destination, the picture, should be a shared one. It's all very well you or I having our individual picture, which is ever so strong and will drive us a long way. But when you can share it or have it co-authored with a team, democratic picture, then you get a kind of collective determination to make it so. Okay. Rather than the other way around, trying to have an autocratic picture as a leader and then trying to get some sort of democratic buy-in.
Right, so get them involved and engaged with that whole purpose, picture, the direction that everybody's trying to get to.
Yes. Because I think there are three big levers that drive motivation. Motivation, commitment, determination, whatever you want to call it, is driven by three things. One is a sense of the benefit is going to be more powerful than the pain it's going to take to get there. So the goal needs to be properly engaging. Your team needs to be excited by the thing. Then there's the voice which says, I can, it's possible for me. So a plan or a strategy and a continuous stream of feedback which recognises good performance so that people keep doing it. And also pressure. Pressure's the last one, but it's important too. The pressure of deadlines, the pressure of obligation to others, of ownership, of values which we adhere to rather than are casual about.
So would you suggest that individuals use all three of those, or is there one that stands out over and above the others?
I think a lot of the time organisations think that they can inspire people or motivate people by reward and benefit. Some get rather heavy on the pressure. We're going through tough times, so you've got to do this. The thing people lack most of the time is that continuous voice which says, I believe in you, of course you can, here's the way, side-by-side coaching, engagement, etc.
Brilliant, thank you. And when it comes to engagement with the team, how is best to understand which team members are particularly engaged, which team members perhaps might need working on? Is there anything you can suggest on that?
First of all, be close to them, be really close to your people, and use the Gallup 12 that we speak about a lot, those 12 drivers of engagement. Yeah. And notice that those 12 drivers, one of them is about pressure and the other 11 really are about a sense of belief that it's possible, confidence if you like. Okay. So there's something about being a good, let's say, a visible leader. Extreme visibility was something I spoke about, the importance of making sure that you're there and present and continuously chivying, cajoling, as well as reminding people of how good they are, but being close by.
Okay, and once your people are all happy and in line with the vision, if we talk about the customers a little bit, you touched on Net Promoter Score today. How do you think Net Promoter Score can be used in business to make better decisions and take a better view, I suppose, of the business?
Right, well those were the three big elements that I was speaking about. As a leader, you need to be a good psychologist who knows how to engage a team. You need to be a customer service champion who enables the team to understand what the customer's going to need, real insight. And you also need to be focused on profit and cost, be a good commercial animal. But in terms of the customer, I think the Net Promoter Score is a really strong thing to choose because it's a one number which you can compare compare with all sorts of other companies. So I quoted today that Apple are at 55 and Google are at 68. And when you know where your company sits in terms of that Net Promoter Score, then it can give you a proper urge to continue what you're doing for the customer in terms of how do we get better, how do we improve, how do we catch some of these really big household names.
Definitely.
But as soon as you measure something, you focus on it properly.
And you can benchmark yourself and work to improve it. And in a estate agency, we have the average Net Promoter Score for those that are watching, and it's 26, I believe, from memory. So in terms of increasing that, are there any key things in a estate agency that you think might be useful to look at?
I think it's the only question, of course, the advocacy. So if you know that's what you're out about, then the idea of thinking about what's expected by this customer and what might be extra. The 3-ring model we've spoken about before, basic, expected and wow. What might we do to enable our customers to feel like we really are in there looking after them, in their camp, if you like.
Yeah.
I think that's a way of driving it. Because if you treated every single customer like that, then your NPS would go up.
Yes.
One of my clients, Autoglass, they have an NPS reading every single day. So every single day when you give your feedback, tap into that box that the operator can't see, that goes to Northampton and all of the regions know each day what the NPS was for that day. So they're continuously focusing on that target, concentration.
So businesses are taking Net Promoter Score very seriously.
Oh yeah, loads of, yes, crumbs. Yes, there's lots of there are websites you can go on where you can find how the whole league table's working for NPS. Yeah.
Brilliant. And one final question, we talked a bit about stimulus and response and how sometimes it can be very hard when you get a customer complaint or something negative, how you respond to that. So have you got any suggestions around, we talked about state, how you can stay in the right frame of mind when you have got those negative experiences?
Yeah, well, I said it's about minding the gap. It's exactly that. There's the stimulus, there's the response, and know that you always get the choice. And the people who end up winning are the people who recover state quickest. So whether that be in sport or in business, you get knocked by a comment, you get knocked by a bit of critical feedback. The job is to get yourself back hooked into a good state. And if that state is always, how do we improve this business? How can I get this customer? Because if you know there's a complaint, somebody who you look after well in a complaint situation will become more loyal than if you got it right first time. So therefore, I know it sounds a corny thing to say, but every complaint is a real opportunity to win loyalty. If you did it right first time, you get satisfaction. You sort a complaint out, you get loyalty, and they're two different things. I said that to the group today. How would you prefer your partner in life, satisfied or loyal? It's completely different.
Yes, brilliant. Thank you very much.
That's my pleasure. It's been a joy.
Thank you.